This is Jarrod Horak, and this is my latest handicapping video. And in this video, I'm going to analyze the Grade 2 Miss Grillo Stakes at Aqueduct for Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. And I'm also going to be doing the Pilgrim Stakes for that same day. They're both win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup. For the Miss Grillo Stakes, it's a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf. For the Pilgrim Stakes, win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile turf. And let's see if I can keep some momentum going. I had the Awesome Again Stakes. I was able to get my top choice, Slow Down Andy, wiring the field and getting the job done in that race. And let's see if I can get some winners in this Miss Grillo and the Pilgrim Stakes video coming up. And then I'm going to be doing more videos this weekend, some stakes races and Breeders' Cup preps from Aqueduct, Santa Anita, Keeneland. So keep checking my YouTube channel as we get closer to the 2023 Breeders' Cup. And if you're interested in reading my Breeders' Cup articles, head on over to todaysracingdigest.com. You'll find all of my Breeders' Cup articles. Each day I'm writing a new Breeders' Cup article. I'm going through the Breeders' Cup Friday races right now. I've written articles on 4 of the Breeders' Cup Friday races. I still have the Breeders' Cup Juvenile to go. So I wrote an article for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, the Juvenile Fillies, and then the Juvenile Fillies turf, and then the Juvenile turf. So I've gotten all of those articles written, and in the description in this video, I'll provide links to those articles. And again, keep checking out Today's Racing Digest because I'm going to be writing these Breeders' Cup articles. I'm going to then jump into Breeders' Cup Saturday articles soon and start going through the angles into those. So check all those articles out at todaysracingdigest.com. And if you're interested in my full card analysis for Santa Anita Park and for the 2-day Breeders' Cup, you'll find those full cards each day Santa Anita runs at therunawayrhorse.com on my sales page. And you can purchase individual full cards, weekly and weekend packages, the entire meet, both Breeders' Cup days. So just go on over for details. Go on over to therunawayrhorse.com on my sales page if you're interested in any of that. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. Again, a lot more videos coming up later this week, so keep checking out my YouTube channel. And the Miss Grillo Stakes is going to be the 5th race at Aqueduct, Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. Grade 2, $200,000 Miss Grillo Stakes. 2-year-old fillies, 1 mile and a 16th on the turf course. 3:10 p.m. Eastern Time is the post time. Appellate is number 1 for trainer Todd Pletcher. This one is a Constitution filly, and she's run twice, and she finished second both times. And she was on the wrong end of the win photo both times. She stalked and missed by a head in her debut. Hard to Justify won that one, and she's in this race. And then Appellate, second time out at Saratoga, again at 1 mile and a 16th on the inner turf. July 23rd, her debut. September 3rd was her second start. She stalked the pace. She got into a battle for the lead. She couldn't get the job done again, and she was second by a head. So Trevor McCarthy will ride this time. They paid $250,000 for this daughter of Constitution, and she'll probably save ground stalking the pace. Hard to Justify, one of 2 Chad Brown trainees in here, and Chad Brown's won this race 8 times, so he's had a lot of success in the Miss Grillo, and the Miss Grillo has been a productive Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf prep race, and Chad Brown's had a lot of success with his Miss Grillo fillies running in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf. So we'll have to see if one of his fillies can step up in here. Hard to Justify is a $190,000 Justify filly, and Quality Road is the dam sire. The dam Instant Reflex was stakes placed, and this horse in the debut, nice effort, was 3-1, 10-horse field, Saratoga inner turf at 1 mile and a 16th on July 23rd. Sat back, finished up nicely, won by a head under Flavien Prat, and he will ride back in here. Getting a good price if you like this Chad Brown filly. She's 10-1 morning line, and she could certainly run faster second time out. Life's an Audible is next for trainer Todd Pletcher. This is a $200,000 Audible filly. Into Mischief is Audible sire, and then you have Catkins was the dam, and Data Link is the dam sire. And this one has run twice, 4th, beaten 21 lengths in a race originally scheduled for the turf in the career debut. Ran much better on turf, 5.5 furlongs, cutting back in distance from post 9 in a 10-horse field, second time out, rallying from 7th and winning by 1.5 lengths. Now she's going to stretch back out and stay on turf, and Irad Ortiz Jr. will stay put. And she ran much faster second time out, but she's going to have to prove that she can handle that extra ground in this race. Gold Lightning is next, and she's 10-1 morning line for trainer Brad Cox. This is a Bolt Doro filly. They paid $150,000 for her. And Joel Rosario will ride for the first time. Manny Franco was aboard in the debut. Mile and a 16th on the inner turf course at Saratoga on a good turf course, and she rallied from off the pace to win nicely by more than 2 1/4 lengths. So that was a good effort that day, and now she's going to step up and face winners for the first time and try to qualify for the Breeders' Cup. She had a bullet workout for this on the Belmont training track on September 23rd. Dancing Spirit is next, number 5, 10-1 morning line. This is a daughter of social inclusion, and she's run well in all 3 starts. 5 furlong all-weather sprint debut at Presque Isle Downs. She was second in a 7-horse field, and then they stretched her out to a 1.1 miles on the inner turf at Saratoga, and she stalked and she broke her maiden by a half length. And then last time she was in the P.G. Johnson Stakes, they took that race off the turf at Saratoga, ran it at 1 mile on the main track. Only 4 horses. She ended up finishing third, on a well-beaten third at that. So now she's going to get back on turf. Kendrick Carmouche is going to get aboard for the first time, and she'll probably end up stalking the pace. Camila T is number 6 in here, and she's 6-1 morning line. No Nay Never is the sire, and Warfront, the dam sire. Juan Avila trains this one, and she won her debut nicely. 5 furlongs on turf at Monmouth Park. She got out there, she set the pace, and she won by 13 lengths. And she was the favorite, and she earned a decent enough speed rating that day. So you have to figure, stretching out here, she's probably the one to catch. Memorialize is next for trainer Graham Motion. This is a daughter of Cara Conti, $280,000 purchase. Smart Strike is the dam sire. She rallied in her Colonial Downs debut as the favorite at 5.5 furlongs on the turf. From 15 lengths back, she was last for half the race and then finished up nicely to finish second. Second time out, she wanted that extra ground, and she got it, 1.1 miles. That was on August 20th at Saratoga on their inner turf course, and that course was labeled good. 10-horse field, rallied from 7th, she won that race going away by 3 lengths. Manny Franco rode last time. He sticks with her, and she earned a decent late pace rating there. And I can see her getting involved late in this spot. Gala Brand is next for trainer Bill Mott. This is a daughter of Violence. And for this filly, she really ran well in both starts. 5.5 furlong debut at Saratoga on a firm turf course, and she just flew home. She was 14 lengths back at the halfway point after 4 furlongs, and it was only a 5.5 furlong race. So she made up 14 lengths in a short period of time to win going away by 2 1/4 lengths. The runner-up was the next out winner, and Galabrand was my top choice in the Grade 3 with Anticipation last time out. And she broke from the rail on her debut. She broke from the rail second time out, and she handled the extra ground, and she faced males in that Grade 3 with Anticipation, and the pace was slow. 25, 51, and 3, 116 and 2. She rallied from last to first to win that one nicely with a strong late pace rating. Jose Ortiz got to know her last time, and she's one that could certainly go from the back of the pack and win this and win her 3rd straight race. And then Carson's Run, the runner-up from her last race, was the next out winner. Sierra Sky, number 9. This is a daughter of Uncle Mo, and she's 12-1 morning line with Javier Castellano aboard. Jose Ortiz rode in the debut, and that debut was at 7 furlongs on turf at Kentucky Downs, and she rallied from 12 lengths back, and she was 12th and last at that point after a quarter. She moved her up to 11th after a half, and then she flew home, and she was second, beaten 3/4 of a length. So for this filly, Mark Cassie's the trainer, and they paid $375,000 for her. And I can see her liking the added ground of this race. She's going to have to run faster. Number 10, Later Darlin for trainer Todd Pletcher. This is a More Than Ready filly. Rockport Harbor is the dam sire, and in her debut, she was 9-1, a bit dead on the board there at Saratoga, 1.16 on the good turf on August 6th. And from the inside post, she blew the brake, and then she passed some horses, and she finished 4th. In her last start at Saratoga on firm turf, I thought she ran a decent race there. Wasn't much pace, 51, 116, and she was rallying from 9th in a 10-horse field, again, breaking slow. She was 3rd, beaten neck. So a maiden after 2 starts. They paid $175,000 for her. She hasn't taken a lot of money considering she comes from the Pletcher barn in either of her starts, 9-1 and 7-1. Dylan Davis will end up riding for the first time here, and I don't like that she keeps breaking slow. Number 11, Whimsically for Sherry DeVoe. This is an Uncle Mo filly, and they paid $180,000 for her, and she's run twice, and she hasn't won, although she did cross the line first last time. In her debut at Ellis Park, she stalked the pace, and she finished 7th in a 12-horse field. didn't have the best trip that day. Second time out, maiden race at Colonial Downs, she stalked, she took the lead, she edged clear and won by a length, but she did duck in there and she was placed third through disqualification. So now Whimsically will probably try to stalk the pace from an outer post, and Junior Alvarado will ride her for the first time. Steal Lute for trainer Chad Brown, the second Chad Brown trainee in here. A midnight Lute filly, and they paid $370,000 for her. Unusual Heat is the dam sire. That is a good California turf sire there. And for this one, decent effort in the debut. Memorialize, who's in this race, was able to win that one. And from the inside post, she broke slow. She finished. She was second, beaten 3 lengths. That was a good finishing kick there. And Jose Lezcano is going to ride. Flavian Prat was aboard her in the debut. Now Jose Lezcano gets aboard. So she's going to have to overcome the outside post. And she did break slow in the debut, and she can't afford to break slow and lose a lot of ground. She's not going to beat a field like this. So looking at this field, obviously I said Chad Brown has had a lot of success in this race, and but maybe his fillies are more fringe contenders in this spot. Gala Brand's certainly the one to beat. There are a lot of horses that have a lot of upside, like Memorialize, for sure. That one could certainly move forward. There's just so many lightly raced horses in here. And of the Todd Pletcher trainees, of the Chad Brown trainees, I think hard to justify with that post 2 with Prada aboard. Probably is the better of his 2 fillies in this spot. But I can't go against Gala Brand. I picked her last time. She's just been so impressive from off the pace in both runs. That debut, 5.5 furlongs, she just flew home of that last couple furlongs. And then in her second start, when they stretched her out against the boys, she was able to win that one, finishing strong despite the lack of pace. So Gala Brand is going to be my top choice in the Miss Grillo Stakes. And that will wrap up my videos for Wednesday, October 4th. Again, keep checking my YouTube channel. This weekend, a lot of Breeders' Cup Prep Stakes races, and I'm going to be covering as many as I can on my YouTube channel in video format. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.